You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A tractor trailer caught fire earlier today outside a facility in the Valmont Industrial Park. The West Hazelton Fire Department was dispatched to Concord Plastics on JC Drive for a report of a tractor trailer on fire.
Crews responded within minutes, and upon arrival, they observed a trailer fully involved in the loading dock of the building. Crews stretched a hand line and started to extinguish the fire as other units started arriving on scene.
Firefighters had the bulk of the flames knocked down within minutes of arriving.
And it was ensured that none of the fire got to the processing part of the building. They did a great job at holding the fire at bay and shutting all the fire doors prior to the fire department arrival.
The plant was fully evacuated with no injuries reported from that late morning fire in West Hazelton. Rain, rain, and more rain. The National Weather Service issued a flash flood watch for Luzerne County. Heavy downpours are expected to bring up to 3 inches to our area, which will cause rivers, creeks, and streams to rise. The Susquehanna River in Wilkes-Barre is expected to crest at around 24 feet by Saturday, which is 2 feet above the natural flood stage. This serves as a friendly reminder to keep an eye on your basements, as the rain's expected to last into later this evening. A collision in the city of Hazelton Wednesday afternoon could have been a lot worse if not for quick-thinking employees. A car and SUV collided at the intersection of 15th and Alter Street shortly after 5 p.m. The accident caused one of the vehicles to smash into a gas pump at Turkey Hill, causing it to burst into flames. Employees inside the store shut off the gas and power to the pumps almost immediately. Hazelton Fire Chief Donald Lechko attributes their actions to preventing a potential catastrophe. The gas station at Turkey Hill will be closed until the pumps are reinstalled. Fortunately, no injuries were reported from that Wednesday afternoon incident in the city. State officials are working together to help those in need during the pandemic. WYLN's Phil Kaufman has more.
During the pandemic, food resources have become a major factor in keeping families afloat during these times. The Office of State Representative Tara Toohill and the Commission on Economic Opportunity have been working together to stabilize food resources to help these families throughout Greater Hazelton.
So we've been working in our office to make sure that families are stable. And one of the issues is food insecurity. So families have other ways of getting food if they're on assistance or SNAP, and some families now are encountering food instability and they've never had this issue before. So we worked to open last week. We helped reopen a food bank that had been closed, and then we helped to reopen 2 other food banks, brand new food banks in the area. So we have about 13 food banks right now, and people want to know how they can help. And donations of food and any items, non-perishable items, is very helpful to these food banks and getting those out to the community.
The initiative has been conducted with various food banks throughout the Greater Hazelton area, and Toohill said the focus is on serving as many people in need as possible during this difficult time.
All of the food banks, we are welcoming them to talk to our office. We have helped reopen those 2 food banks, but then also there was a deficit of food in some places. So we worked with the Commission on Economic Opportunity, CEO, and they have been helping us get more food to supply to families. One of the problems we saw this week was both of our food banks had over 100 additional families that came for food and then had to be turned away. So we are working to make sure that we have more food because the need is growing. So we've stabilized the food banks, we've gotten the communication, and we're laying the groundwork so that families are not going to be turned away.
In addition to supplying food, there was a need for cardboard boxes to make it possible to deliver the meals throughout the area. Can Do assisted with the collection and delivery of more than 500 boxes for the project. The boxes came from several companies throughout Can Do's parks, including PSI Container, Packaging Wholesalers, International Paper, and others.
So we had one of our food banks, they had 500 meals that they need to disperse, and they were having a hard time because of the packaging. And so immediately we called Nancy Stasko at Can Do, and she then went to companies and asked for donations of just their boxes from the warehouses. And that really helped out, and that was a partnership where we can collaborate and work together to solve our community problems.
Reporting from Wyln News, this is Philip Kaufman.
Thanks, Phil. Little League International made the decision today to cancel its 7 World Series tournaments. Little League President and CEO Stephen Keener said that they came to the conclusion that because of the significant public health uncertainty that will still exist several months from now, the series and respective regional qualifying tournaments have been canceled and are expected to resume in 2021. This is the first time in the series' 75-year history that it had to be canceled. More COVID-19 cases were reported in Luzerne County. The Pennsylvania Department of Health said 33 more people tested positive, bringing the county case total to over 2,100 with 82 deaths. Statewide, another 1,102 cases were confirmed, which brought the total number to over 44,300. State police are currently investigating an animal cruelty case in Hazel Township. Troopers were called to the area of East 13th and Hayes Streets Wednesday afternoon. They found a dog wrapped in garbage bags, a blanket, and flattened air mattress. The dog appeared to have suffered blunt force trauma to the head and was described as a light brown pit bull terrier with white markings on the chest, feet, and paws. Neighbors said the dog may have been dropped off by an unknown vehicle Tuesday between 8 and 8:30 p.m. So anyone with information on the dog's owner is being asked to call Trooper Tobias at 570-459-3890. And history will be made come next school year for Hazleton area football when a former Cougar steps up to lead the Pride. After 6 seasons as an assistant football coach at Hazleton area high school, Dennis Bookman's climbing one notch up the ladder. The move was made official during last Thursday night's school board meeting with a unanimous vote to appoint the 31-year-old, who happens to teach 6th grade at the district. Bookman's now the team's 3rd coach with no previous head coaching experience and the 7th head coach since the program's formation in 1992. On top of being recommended by the athletic board, Bookman emerged as the leading candidate out of 6 following interviews last month.
It's an incredible experience. I'm humbled. I'm honored to be obviously a part of the program. And then I was fortunate enough to come back on Coach Brennan's staff, who Coach Brennan, he's second to none. Incredible person, incredible coach. And now I have the opportunity, obviously, to lead our program, and it's something I don't take lightly. So our kids are excited, the community is excited, and I'm equally as excited.
Bookman replaces former head coach Mike Brennan, who stepped down back in January after compiling a 23-42 record in 6 seasons at Hazleton area, leading the Cougars twice to the District 2-4 Class 6A Sub-Regional Championship game. Brennan then took his head coaching talents over to Danville High School.
He's an elite person. He's an elite coach. I don't view it as just I'm filling in his shoes, though. It's a collective effort, and we're going to do this together. We have a tremendous staff that's going to be in place, and we have really good people around us.
The 2007 graduate was an all-state 3-year starter and 4-year varsity receiver for the Cougars. He's also taking on another unique experience, coaching his little brother Matt. Matt will be coming into the season as a sophomore, following his debut as a running back last year and a hip injury that cost him 7 games.
I love everybody in our program. Every single player in our program is a part of my immediate family. It's a special experience. I mean, I'm not going to lie. He's a very talented athlete. We have a lot of talented football players coming back. But like I said, truly, it's not going to be any different than coaching any other player that comes through our program.
The new coach inherits a young team with just a taste for varsity play under its belt. The Cougars struggled last year to make their 2-8 record. However, with the many freshmen and sophomores manning key positions come August, Bookman believes the talent is there to turn that record around.
I think everybody's goal has to be to win championships. That's where we start, and that's where we end with our vision and our goals. But, more importantly than just the wins and losses, which are extremely important, we want to make sure that we're developing our players, and not only developing them as football players, but as young men through our program. We have tremendous leadership from our senior class right now, and the players that played last year, those freshmen and sophomores who are now a year older and more experienced, they're starting to mature as well, obviously on the football field and in the classroom, but more importantly as individuals and people. I promise everybody in our community is going to be proud of the respectful young men that we produce in our program.
The governor's decision to keep school districts closed through June 30th forced the PIAA to shut down all athletic activities until at least July 1st, meaning Bookman won't be able to conduct mandatory off-season workouts until then.
It's a unique circumstance for everyone. I won't use that as an excuse because we're coming in a little bit later too, but obviously then with everything going on and the plans we have in place right now, we're going to have to use different forms of technology, really start teaching the players our terminology and schematics and create and find different avenues throughout these next 2 months at least. We're going to attack though, like we're going to be back together July 1st, and when we get back together July 1st, we'll be able to hit the ground running.
As of now, Hazleton area's home opener is set for August 28th, where they'll face off against defending PIAA Class 3A state champion, Wyoming area. Coming up on Wyln News, one lucky lady celebrates turning the big 101. Plus, one online pet company started seeing positive COVID-19 cases at the workplace. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old, and it's gonna rain out. Bye.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
From the bottom of our hearts, the WYLN TV 35 family would like to say thank you to all essential workers for your service to our community and for keeping us safe.
Today marks the 101st birthday for COVID-19 survivor Edith D'Angelo. Edith's living at Providence Place, having recovered from COVID-19 just weeks after being diagnosed. Staff wanted to celebrate her special day in style. Valley Regional Fire Company and Edith's family joined in to celebrate just outside her window to wish her a happy birthday. Her granddaughter, Gina Johnson, was more than excited to be part of her special day.
So my grandmother turned 101 today, and we just were never going to miss that because it's such a great celebration for her. She's also a survivor of COVID. We found out on Holy Saturday that she tested positive. It's just like her though to not really have any symptoms and to just recover and be okay. And so our family, we're Italian. We've always gotten together for everything since we were little. We would never miss a birthday. And this one just being so special, 101 years old is amazing. So that's why we are here today to celebrate. And we're just so thankful for the fire company coming and just kind of making it special since we can't actually go in and see her. So it's been really nice.
We here at Wyln wish Edith the very best on her 101st birthday. One online pet company claims 2 of its employees working out of a local warehouse tested positive for COVID-19. Chewy.com stated that their top priority is the health, safety, and well-being of all their team members. The company says it's continually monitoring the situation and following proper health and safety guidelines. However, an employee at the fulfillment center in Hanover Township's claiming that's far from the case. A current Chewy employee spoke out anonymously, saying employees are pretty frustrated and not cared about. The company is allegedly not following proper social distancing and cleaning guidelines set by the CDC and Department of Health. Chewy, however, claims a member of the Hanover Township Code Enforcement Department visited the facility April 9th and 17th, with both reflecting positive health and safety measures put in place throughout the building. Today, Governor Tom Wolf signed House Bill 1869 and 752 into law. House Bill 1869 allows National Guard members called into active duty to be covered under the Heart and Lung Act if they contract COVID-19 while performing their duties. House Bill 752 allows the Game Commission to pay a fair market value for land in Allegheny County. Wolf vetoed Senate Bill 857, which was the telemedicine bill passed by Senate unanimously last year before being amended in the House last week. The governor also released cross-agency guidance on telehealth, citing its importance as a healthcare delivery option during COVID-19 and that it pertains to his authority under the disaster declaration signed in early March. LVHN is looking into ramping up diagnostic COVID-19 testing at their Hazleton testing site soon. The network's 2 testing sites in the city currently operate on a restricted basis to conserve test supplies, meaning people experiencing symptoms that are over the age of 65 and or suffering from underlying conditions are the only ones being tested. Both the hospital and testing sites have adequate supplies to continue testing, and the network's been setting itself up to start testing more people. Testing will become even more important in coming weeks as stay-at-home and business closure restrictions throughout the state will begin lifting. LVHN also started testing for antibodies, which show if someone's been exposed to the virus and may have developed antibodies to fight it or some immunity. Coming up on Oneida's News Choice, we talk keeping dogs safe in community and you. Plus, not all heroes wear capes. Stay with us.
CARES is a local and family-owned agency dedicated to providing exceptional services for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout Pennsylvania. CARES specializes in day and residential services, respite, home and community, behavior supports, and chaperone vacations. At CARES, the participants are the VIPs. CARES, empowering individuals to maximize their opportunities and potential in their community.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
WYLN presents Community Update on the Coronavirus, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. with rebroadcast at 7 p.m. and 10 a.m. the following morning. Brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network, PBS 39, Adams Outdoor, and WYLN TV 35. We're your local network.
Dogs, just like children, need a lot of tender, loving care. They're fun-loving, playful, and filled with unconditional love. But at times, our furry companions can have a hard time coping, especially when it comes to things such as loud and excessive noises.
A lot of dogs don't like fireworks. A lot of dogs don't like thunder. And for the most part, the dog's owner, who is responsible for caring for that dog and keeping it stress-free, know ahead of time. We know what the weather's going to be like most of the time, ahead of time. So if there's going to be thunder in the area, you might want to put the dog in a room with a radio on, where it's a little more quiet, pull the curtains closed, things like that. You may want to sit with your dog. They sell things called a thunder shirt for a dog. And sometimes if it's wrapped a little tighter, it feels more comfortable and it's less afraid. That works for some dogs, not for others. You know, fireworks are usually certain times of the year, so you always have to be aware of that. Dogs hear fireworks, it's very hard on them, so you just have to be aware of what your dog may be going through and try to give it as much comfort as possible during those times.
Nearly all dogs also come with a healthy appetite. They'll eat dry food, wet food, they love their treats, and of course want people food too. But just what types aren't good for them and how much is too much?
You always have to watch for different things with dogs as far as keeping them healthy, besides the food, onions and raisins and grapes and things like that that they can't eat. Here's the thing, when it comes to the diet of your dog, I always suggest people get advice from their vet on what to feed their dog and how much to feed it. I mean, we're guilty at the animal shelter of overfeeding them only because of the stressful situation and the good food that comes in here. Table scraps, that's, you know, some people never give it to their dog, some people overdo it with their dog. I think anything in moderation is okay. Learn what foods your dog can eat and what foods can't. Some will kill them, some will get them sick, some are okay. So again, it's all about doing the homework and asking the right questions before you take a chance. This way your dog stays healthy and happy.
Many household or automotive products can be dangerous to your pets. Chemicals, cleaners, and hazardous materials should be kept out of reach or locked up where your dog can't get into it. There's also other things in the environment to watch out for.
There's always stuff in the environment that they can't eat. Antifreeze will kill a dog if it gets near it. So when you got this kind of weather, sometimes cars are breaking down, leaking things, there's fluid on the ground in the driveway. Sometimes people throw stuff in your yard that shouldn't be there. So always be cautious about your dog's surrounding and make sure you protect them as far as that goes.
And don't forget, it's better to adopt than shop. You can find your new best friend by visiting the Carbon County Animal Shelter at 63 Broad Street in Esquehoning. You can also visit their Facebook page or call the shelter at 570-325-4828.
These are the heroes on the front lines saving lives every day. Now, it's your turn. COVID-19 is rapidly infecting our community, and we can't stop it without your help. We need you to stay home. You are putting yourself, your family, and our community at risk every time you leave your house. Anyone can be a carrier for this virus, even people without symptoms. So cancel playdates and meetups. Stop the spread. Stay home. It will save lives, maybe even your own.
Watch Off the Beaten Path on Wyln TV 35 and discover the Pennsylvania you never knew existed.
COVID-19 has changed our lives. While we try to protect our families, we know some of our neighbors are missing paychecks, can't pay rent, or afford food and basic supplies for their families. But the United Way cares. United Ways across northeastern and central Pennsylvania have partnered with Eyewitness News to raise funds to support services vital to people struggling with the COVID-19 emergency. To make a donation to United Way Cares, visit pahomepage.com.
Looking for information on the coronavirus pandemic? Make sure it's from a reliable source. Go to WYLNTV.com and click on the Lehigh Valley Health Network banner for the real facts about the coronavirus pandemic. And watch WYLN News live at 5:30 for updates on this ongoing crisis. The source matters now more than ever. WYLN, we're your local network.
In support of first responders throughout the greater Hazleton area, Slusser Law Firm will sponsor a complimentary takeout lunch from 5 local restaurants Friday, May 1st. Local and state police officers, firefighters, and ambulance personnel can place a takeout order from one of these 5 restaurants for pickup from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The choices are Frankie's Pizzeria, D'Amato's Pizza, Deli in the Dairy, Vincenzo's Pizza, and Alfredo's Brick Oven Pizza. Corresponding identification is required for the order. Trade in your capes for scrubs, as Mattel released a new collection that honors essential workers fighting the pandemic. Their #ThankYouHeroes collection for Fisher-Price will benefit first responders on the front lines of the pandemic. The Fisher-Price Play It Forward collection includes nurses, doctors, delivery drivers, EMTs, and grocery store workers. The action figures are $20 each and will ship on December 31st, 2020. From April 29th to May 31st, Mattel says $15 from each toy sold will be donated to First Responders First, a fund dedicated to providing essential supplies, equipment, and resources to protect frontline healthcare workers and their families. That's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. You can get news updates on our Wyln News Facebook page or WYLNTV.com by clicking the LVHN banner for the real facts about COVID-19. You can also see who's open for business by clicking the tab on our website. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on Wyln TV.
Hi, I had a very minor